Say what you will about all the new Godzilla movies that are made in the US, but there's one thing that's great about all of these films coming out, and that's more figures. This brand new figure is still in its bubble wrap because I wanted you to know about the Caucus experience. But this came fully shipped in this bubble wrap in a brown box with a wrapper on the outside of the brown box. So these things are fully protected. Now they sent it to me so that you could see it. So head on over to caucustoy.com. Use the link down in the description and be sure to apply the promo code nostalgia-caucus and you'll save your 6%. And if you like this thing by the end of the video, you can click the link down in the description and get 6% off your purchase. And then I get a little kickback, which, hey, that's the first time that's ever happened, I think, in this channel. So thank you for those of you that do. So that is to say that these are packaged very well. Let me know if you have any different types of packaging when yours arrives. So I am very excited to have this brand new partnership and see what the potential future is between the two of us. So let's start by by looking at this. This is a HIYA Toys, which is actually my very first HIYA Toys and my very first Godzilla. And this is specifically from the this is specifically from the Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire. If I just read it, the words will come out. Now this is an energized version, and I think there's gonna be some fun ways to experience his energy. It sounds like we just walked into a let's experience his energy together. Back of the box, you got a little bit of information, not a lot, and then you have a couple shots. So the packaging is very simple. You don't really know what's in the box until you take it out of the box. Sliding it out of there. Ooh, look at that. Also, as far as the stuff that's on this website, Caucus, it's not just Godzilla figures, okay? There's a bunch of stuff over there. So go check it out now. If you're interested in the Joy Toy TMNT line, well, they might be over there. They're over there. They also have Hot Toys and some other goodies. There's not a lot here. But I think that's just kind of par for the course with these Godzilla figures, regardless of the brand, I think. Plus, I mean, what does he do? He scratches, he claws, and he punches. Got some nice plastic in there to protect him while he's being shipped around, but that's it. We did it. So let's take a look at these alternate hands. It looks like he's got some potential grippies, but what the heck could he grippy? I guess whatever you want. If you got like little tiny people, weapons, or maybe he picks up King Kong's axe thing, but can't get Mario in there. There we go. He's too big. So let's just jump right into it. This looks like it's gonna have a lot of paintwork and a lot of articulation. The only thing about this is that it's kind of hard to see his eyes. Oh my goodness, but there's tongue articulation. Okay, well, HIYA Toys. I think you guys are kind of crushing it in the Godzilla game, especially for per dollar. You're kind of putting the other companies to shame. This is a very, very nice sculpt. I'd really like to have a normal version of Godzilla, and especially love to have the little pink version to see what all his details really look like. But I like the sculpt. I mean, there's so much going on here that you really can't even see from the movie. He's kind of got these just regular relaxed hands on by default, but my goodness, this is a really nice looking figure. So let's take a look at all this articulation. Like we said, we do have jaw articulation and we have tongue articulation, which is crazy, but all the way down through the neck, there's like layers upon layers going on here, which is really nice. So you're gonna get a lot more than you would think just by looking at this dude. So I'm definitely a fan of that because, yeah, I mean, you look at these things through pre-orders and stuff and you're never really sure. He can get into a swimming pose, which is nice. He can't look down a ton, but you can actually push him a lot further than you would think. The arms go out just a bit, nothing too crazy, but again, this is like a Godzilla figure. This isn't, you don't get him for like Spider-Man poses. But if you could, maybe that's cool. Elbow articulation, which goes pretty wild in the wrong direction, but that's okay. And the wrist joints are just ball pegs, so you can kind of get whatever angle you want, which is nice. I'm glad that's there. You do have some torso articulation, so you can break his back if you want to, but nice to have. You can go side to side just a little bit, nothing crazy, but again, I think it's more than you would really expect in leaning down and then back just a little bit. The legs go out about that far. You got double jointed knees, and then they go a little flat, but man, look at how cute his little tootsies are. Ankles, nothing too crazy. Now, something like this, you would definitely want to have the environment on your shelf. Like, you would want little buildings and cities and people and trains. And I think in the box, it would be nice to have just like one little tiny accessory, especially if you buy a bunch of these Godzillas in all the colors. How about little trains and then like a little bridge or a little car or something, a little building chunk. And that's like an additional piece in the box. And maybe you even call that like a deluxe. Tail articulation, it almost wraps around perfectly. Like this is way more than I would have thought. So it goes up, it goes down, wow. And then it's all thanks to these segmented sections, which honestly kind of blend in really well, especially with a curve like that. You don't really see those joints. So this isn't something that we're gonna have like a ton to look at. We're not gonna have a ton of poses, especially without cities and things, but this thing really is beautiful. Now there's one extra piece that we need to check out that's really gonna amplify this guy's look because he's energized. So if we get a couple of lights, which I will have linked down in the description to Amazon where I got these things, and we just find some things to like amp up the look. But the way he has this kind of somewhat translucent on his spine here, this is really cool. So the light's coming through really nicely. A little hard to see on camera, but it's coming through his entire body. So he's actually lit up from the inside by applying lights like this. So I wonder what kind of setup you could do for your shelf to give him that energized look. But look at that. I know this is just, it's this. So maybe through the posing segment, I can show you a little bit better what it looks like in person. But this thing looks really, really nice when I'm looking at it with my eyes. You can see the colors through here a lot more vibrantly. I really like this. I've heard a lot of great things about these HIYA Godzilla figures, so I'm really actually happy to have this guy. And I like this energized version because it reminds me of some other figures I've had where they have like translucent hair, like Goku's and stuff. But this, it's really nice. And you guys know me, I will always be honest in reviews, even if it's a partnership like I've had with 5K Toys where I've completely dunked on some figures. Because it's important that you trust me because I will always be honest. So if I do actually like something like this little Godzilla who should be my little shoulder buddy, then you can trust me. So is this a Godzilla that you should have on your shelf? If you're a fan of these movies, yes, it's a no-brainer. I really like the coloring on this. It's a nice variant, and you gotta have some nice little tiny buildings. So please, somebody let me know about tiny little buildings to amp this guy up, to make him look cooler. Now, the only thing I would want from here is to be able to get him in his little cat pose where he's sleeping in the Coliseum. Anyway, use the link down in the description and be sure to apply the promo code nostalgia-caucus and you'll save your 6%. I do get a little bit of a kickback, so that's nice to finally have that. And if you enjoyed this review, then click the top link there. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.